I got distracted. It is 7:38, I think. That sound you hear is my windshield wipers. I drove around yesterday. I went to like 4 places, 4 different places in different areas, looking to replace my windshield wiper. Just one, just the left one that's making that sound. And none of the places had my size. I guess my size is either really popular or, as one of them said, too new. They don't have that one yet. Like, too new. I got this car in 2020. It's like 2022. I don't think it's too new, but nobody had it, so. And maybe a lot of people have new cars and they're buying them all. I went to O'Reilly's. It suddenly started going really fast, and I didn't even make it go fast, I don't think. I don't know, did you see me move my hand? Because I don't think I made it go that fast. But I might have. I don't know. Shit, can't remember anything anymore. Anyways, I went to no, I didn't go to O'Reilly's. I went to Napa. I went to AutoZone. I went to Jiffy Lube, and I went to I don't know. I think the third place was just a different AutoZone in a different town. Either way, nobody had it. And it's raining a lot lately, so I'm sick of this sound. I'm going to just go to the Subaru dealer today on my lunch and just see if they have it. If not, the final thing I'll do is just order it on Amazon like I order everything else. Speaking of Amazon, we went to go look at land to park our travel trailer that we purchased last week. That will be getting this week. All the RV parks all over Snohomish County and Skagit County and Island County. Maybe even King County. I looked over there a little bit too. Most of the long-term stay facilities or the RV parks that I've found are full and they have a waiting list. One of them has a 2-year fucking waiting list. Another one's like, where all of the long-term people leave in May and then they return in September because we need to leave it available for our seasonal summer people. That's not ideal. I don't want to be like looking for a place in September. Oh, and the other thing was the rates. The summer rates are so much more expensive than the off-season dates. Some places are just expensive anyways if you don't stay there long term. So the cheapest long-term place we found was like $450, and they run a credit check. Your score has to be over 640, and you can't have anything on your criminal background check, and you cannot have anything in collections over $1,000, I think. So which one's gonna be quicker? So in my frustration looking for places, because like the weekly rate for some of the summer places was like $380 a week, 369. That ends up being like $1,500. And another place was like $60 a day, doesn't matter what day it is, and that ends up being like $1,800. And our trailer payment is like $585. So that's paying more than our rent. I don't want to do that. So we did find, in my frustration, I looked for land for rent, and I did find a place. And it's cute. It's kind of far the way into the forest, which I really like. But it's cute, and it's a place we can park our trailer. And we could stay there as long as we want. And my gas light just came on. I didn't get gas yesterday. And my windshield stopped doing that weird thing. My wiper. Oh, the other thing is I experienced a full body bone scan yesterday. That was interesting. I had to show up at 11:30 and get an injection and then come back 3 hours later and lay still for an hour straight. They strapped me down and I couldn't move, which was a really challenging thing to do because my body hurt, and usually when my body hurts I'm like moving around like this, you know, squirming around, and I couldn't do that for an hour. I should know the results of that today. I don't know when my doctor's going to review them, but I should know soon. And that's to determine if it's arthritis I have or if it's neurological pain that I have, which could be then probably arthritis. I mean, no, arthritis is if if they physically see inflammation in my bones, and then it's neurological if they don't see the inflammation in my bones. And that means it could be fibromyalgia, or I think lupus is a neurological disorder too. Oh, you're back. Stupid. When it stopped, it was like barely raining, and now that it's raining, it's back. The other thing is we are going back to the studio. Finally, Zach's gonna lay down his guitar solos this Sunday, and I'm going to just kind of tell Cody, the engineer, where I want some vocals copied and pasted to, and where I want them removed from. I don't really see myself redoing any vocals. Yeah, I think I could do it better, but I always think I could do better, and that'll be a never-ending cycle of let me do it better, let me do it better, let me do it better, let me do it better. So I'm just gonna leave them. And some of the harmony parts, I can't tell if I did them or not because the levels are kind of like all over the place. I might have missed a harmony on one of the songs. I can really easily, like, in a minute do that part. That's it though, I think. I'm not like really doing a whole lot, but Tyler, the drummer, wants to come, and he says he's got a lot of vocal ideas for me, and I don't know what that means, because when he has ideas, he has a really hard time explaining them, and then if we don't understand what he's talking about, he gets frustrated, and then we get frustrated, and I don't want to be at the studio again and be fucking arguing, okay? Not again. The last time we were at the studio in October, we were fucking arguing. And this is our first time back. I don't want to start it like this. Anywho, I don't know what the fuck Pat's doing because he hasn't even responded to our text messages. He's just been like off the grid for a while. I don't really hear from him. I don't really talk to him outside of the band anyways. Tyler, every now and then I'll call and be like, what's up? How you doing? And Zach too. I tried calling Pat one time and he just didn't even answer. So I'm like, oh, I guess we're not cool like that. And it's not like, hey, how are you doing? I'm bored. It's more like, hey, what's up? You know, I know we haven't practiced in a while. How do you feel about this? So it's still band related mostly. They live too far away from me for me to be like, hey, let's meet for lunch, or it's like an hour and a half, you know. If I'm gonna go there for an hour and a half, I don't mind if, I mean, I haven't seen them in a while, but I'd really rather be playing music if I'm gonna make that trip. So where I'm gonna be living is gonna be further away, like 45 minutes northeast. And oh, and I brought up, speaking of Amazon, like a long time ago, and this is why I brought it up. I brought it up because the piece of land that we found for rent, I was like, shit, my phone wouldn't work, there's no reception. I called the owner and I'm like, hey, I don't have any cell service, sorry, my phone wouldn't go through. And he's like, yeah, it sucks out there. And I'm like, what about the internet? And he's like, yeah, the neighbors got internet. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, what about the mailbox? What if I want an Amazon package or something and there is no mailbox? He's like, oh, I just bought some, I'm gonna put them up this week. And I'm like, oh, good, because you know, like, I'm gonna be ordering shit. Plus, it'd be nice to just change my mail and not get it forwarded or not get it at all or have to get a P.O. box. So shit is happening. We've manifested some shit and it's coming and it's exciting. And it's a little stressful because I got to move all my shit into storage. But things are going well. Yeah. It's a good day so far. I changed my nose ring and I don't know how I feel about that. I really want to change these. But the ones I have in mind are like fucking expensive. They're like $300 each. And I can't find nice things anywhere else. I might just pay it, not right now, but eventually. Anyways, it's March 22nd, I think. I haven't looked yet. March 22nd. 7:55 now. Adios.